being assisted by Nathan McDonald and Mi Suk Park. Tim Danaskos is the fourth official. Lara Lee is in the VAR room. Trent Buhagiar, he was subbed on for Reno Piscopo last weekend and subbed off before the end of the match. But he is back in the starting lineup. His last start was actually that 4-0 loss to the Mariners. Clean sheets have been hard to come by for both these two sides. In fact, Tom Hewitt-Bell hasn't had one in 9 matches. Turning out for Western United. He's made the 3rd highest number of saves this season, Hewitt-Bell, but conceded 4 last weekend against Sydney. All of that after Angus Thurgate had opened the scoring inside the opening 5 minutes. And we are underway at McDonald Jones Stadium. The Newcastle Jets versus Western United. A must-win for these two sides. If the Jets can pick up 3 points and a first home win of the season, they will climb towards the top 6, but not into it provisionally. For Western United, they simply need that 3rd win of the season just to climb off the bottom, and even that will be provisionally ahead of Perth Glory's match. Grayskill. These matches this early in the season, you don't want to be in this position.
Oh, good afternoon, Robbie, and that's spot on. You've said it so well there. What is a must-win match this afternoon for both sides? 1 point really won't do. It's got to be a full result should either of these teams want to start to mount a claim back to the top of the table.
And it's Western United who did make that bright start last weekend. Looking to get onto the front foot early. The Jets have not been a side that dominate possession, have not been a side that dominate territorially this season. They do look to transition. They don't create that many scoring chances, but they are clinical when they do get an opportunity. In particular, their number 8 and captain this afternoon, Apostolos Stamatopoulos, who has 7 goals in 8 appearances so far this term. Buhagiar, the Japanese centre-back, been there since the start with Western United. Jacob Tratt. Buhagiar again, all the way back to Hewitt-Bell. Trent Buhagiar looking to grasp this latest opportunity in the starting 11 in the absence of Piscopo. Back from Kane Vidmar. He's got big boots to fill this afternoon in the absence of Josh Risdon.
A big opportunity this afternoon for Kane Vidmar. Plenty of football ahead of him, just a 19-year-old. And it's an opportunity too, and sometimes they come around through injury or unavailability, and he's got a job to do.
A little bit of pressure there on Ryan Scott, who's up against his former club, of course. He was understudy as Jamie Young played every single minute of their championship-winning season 2 years ago. He's relishing the opportunity to be first choice as well, as that cross-in is headed away by Vidmar. A famous footballing name, and it's a foul by Lustica. And an opportunity for the home side with the set piece.
It's a good early opportunity for Newcastle. They look to make something of this as well. Bad area of the field to try and load up a few numbers into the box.
Grozos standing over the free kick. In it comes with pace. Hewitt-Bell punches, he clatters into his own player in Jacob Tratt. Dane Ingham has it back and manages to pick out Grozos again. Newcastle back on the front foot. The cross in is a great one, missed by Stamatopoulos. Now Clayton Taylor. back into the danger zone. And that was a great first opportunity for Newcastle to draw first blood.
Well, they'll be ruining that missed chance. A golden opportunity presented itself so kindly for Newcastle.
Well, it'd be good to see that one again, because Stamatopoulos looked like he was right in front. There it is, and it's there to be struck, and a player in the form that he's in as well, you don't expect him to miss that.
Almost seemed to take the players by surprise. Didn't expect the ball to flash past the face of the goal. But Newcastle haven't made the most of their set pieces across the season, have not been fruitful at all. I'm sure that's something that has been a conversation, discussion with Rob Stanton.
Their last game here was an absolute thriller. A 97th minute equaliser from Trent Buhagiar against Perth Glory, as the flag is up for offside against Lockie Wales. I'm not sure where that was directed from Robbie Stanton, whether it was one of his own players or an opposition player. But certainly not happy about something. Ryan Scott, that's a nice ball into Timmins. Deputising for Brandon O'Neill. Recovering from a lung infection picked up this week and only fit enough for a place on the bench, having started every match so far this campaign. Natta's ball forward, flicked on by Stamatopoulos. Buhagiar, and the flag is up again for offside.
Well, you mentioned a couple of changes to the Newcastle side. Disappointing too to see Piscopo out. We saw early on last week he had to be substituted off with that injury, and such disappointment from a player with so much promise and at his best. Really creates for a team. We'll be disappointed.
Pena with the little flick for Lustica. Stamatopoulos barging Angus Thurgate off the ball. Now Moragas up the line with Taylor. No way past. Oh, but again, Western United just taking a little bit too long on the ball at the moment. Newcastle with more urgency, more intensity. Taylor helping it on its way. Lustica just gets it out of the feet, but little more. It's been a bright start from the home side, as Kankan gives it away. Now Lustica for Danzaki.
Come on, go! Keep going, Lucy! Lucy, keep going, Noah!
They can hear the Western United bench want a little bit more pressing when they've got Newcastle on the back foot and heading backwards.
Not quite on the same page there. You can see Western United just sitting back in and reforming that defensive shape, but there were a few shouts. Noah Botic pressing high, Stephen Lustica applying the pressure, trying to win the ball back as quickly as possible. They needed more from those players in that moment, but for now they'll settle back into this shape.
Ball up the line for Dane Ingham. Lustica, the little touch from Aquilina is good. Ingham's cross is brilliant, and Trent Buhagiar does have the early goal for Newcastle. 8 minutes on the clock. It was well worked down the right-hand side, and it's a rare-headed goal for Trent Buhagiar. Where was the marking in the middle?
It's a great start for Newcastle. They've started brightly. They've been on the front foot. Felt like it was building too, and this is all too easy on the Harvey Norman replay. The little flick, play on through, and Dane Ingham, he can breeze through easily. The run from Buhagiar, he's timed that to perfection. Marking in the box, terrible from Western United. And that's as easy as you like from Trent Buhagiar. Awards his side with a goal, and Newcastle take the lead.
Second goal of the season in back-to-back home matches for Trent Buhagiar. Brilliantly worked down the right-hand side. Thomas Aquilina making his 50th A-League start with the penultimate pass, that little flick for Ingham, whose first-time cross really made that goal. And it is a disastrous start for John Aloisi's side.
Well, we know Trent Buhagiar is quick. He can find those moments of separation from his player, but on that occasion, Western United just caught sleeping at the back. Buhagiar completely uncontested on that header. It's a frustrating one for Western United.
They have now conceded the opening goal in 8 of their 10 matches, Western United. It's one of several areas that need work from John Aloisi's side at the moment. These slow starts. No side, other side apart from then, has conceded the opening goal 8 times this season. Newcastle looking to make the most of finally being back at home. It's their only home match for a little while, mind you. The next 3 are all away as well, which will mean after match day 13 of the season, the midway point of the season, they'll have played just 4 home matches. It's remarkable, really. Their fans have been starved. They'll be hoping to make the most of it in the back half of the season. Now Buhagiar again. Dancing in between challenges. Stamatopoulos, he's got the better of Imai, still going. That's an importantly timed challenge from Kane Vidmar. And the Adelaide youngster, now playing with Western United, gets a little tap on the head from the former Adelaide man himself.
Oh, I think that's the kindest compliment you could get from a player in form such as Stamatopoulos. Little brush over the head. It was a good challenge, lad, he said. Well done.
Well, the Vidmar family is royalty in Adelaide, of course, so if you come from there. Full of respect, Stamatopoulos, who's enjoying this wonderful season. Moragas's ball in, the header! Oh, and it was very close to a second for Stamatopoulos. Kankar with the initial header. And Western United have to be careful here. They've missed out on a potential first clean sheet of the season. That could so easily have been a second goal. Now, Western United on the front foot. Lockie Wales. Oh, the call of time, just a moment too late perhaps for Dane Ingham.
This is a look back at the other end. Very close there from Stamatopoulos. Hewitt Bell had to be right on his money. Good strong hands, end-to-end stuff.
So a first corner for Western United with Lockie Wales there, and an absolute scrum of players inside the 6-yard box. Wales with the signal, delivers near post, the glancing header from Danzaki. And that was a very good opportunity for Western United to get back on level terms.
Almost a very good response from Western United. A lovely ball whipped in from Lockie Wales. Good shape around it.
Tamaki Imai, who afforded Buhagiar too much space on the goal they conceded, almost making amends there. Aquilina with Timmins. Grozos. Big switch of play for Moragas. Most of Newcastle's plays come down the right-hand side so far, but they've won a corner with that foray down the left. Terrace, Nova Castria enjoying what they've seen in this opening quarter of an hour here. We saw what the first corner down this end almost provided. This one's from the near side in the shade. Grozos, ball back post. Kankar was there again. This time, well, he thinks it should be another corner. Goal kick given.
Well, there's always a target in those set pieces on the corners. Philip Kankar, a towering presence at the back post. If not for the jump and the height that Kane Vidmar got on the challenge there, it was almost a free header.
Thurgate, you can see the press coming from Newcastle. And they've managed to win it back. Dane Ingham with the initial challenge, and then Riku Danzaki with the foul on Taylor.
That's really good pressure there from Newcastle. Just that immediate response, how quickly they can win the ball back. The pressure from Dane Ingham particularly, which resulted in another free kick for Newcastle.
Well, we saw Sydney FC getting out the playbook on high presses yesterday, stifling Wellington Phoenix in the first half. Newcastle not quite the same intensity, but certainly getting a good result so far. Kankar just sees it over the line under pressure from Lustica. Well, Western United fans won't want to hear it, but defending corners has been the real Achilles heel of this Western United side. They've conceded 8 goals from corner kicks and 7 headed goals this season. It's back post again and again. Oh, it's been spilt. There's another opportunity, and Hewitt Bell this time claims that he's feeling that he was fouled there. Referee saw nothing untoward.
Well, it has been a really difficult point for Western United this season. Just failed to deal with these moments. One thing about Stamatopoulos, he's got incredible core strength. We saw the challenge earlier in the match up against Thurgate rather. Nothing too much in that doing, just incredibly strong when he goes into a challenge.
And Trent Buhagiar was almost on hand to blast home a second there. He'll feel perhaps he could have done better. In the right place, almost at the right time, Buhagiar. Ingham. That ball up the sideline. That's better defending that time from Tomoki Imai, but the throw's taken quickly. Buhagiar's in behind them again here. Trent Buhagiar. And now Taylor with the follow-up. And Hewitt Bell with a great save, denying his former Sydney FC teammate.
Well, he had options, Buhagiar. It was a well-taken throw, quick, smart thinking. And tearing through the middle of the park. There's Stamatopoulos, there's Taylor. There's options there. It's not the right choice on that occasion. And all reports, Stamatopoulos still standing with his arms out, asking where the delivery was.
It wasn't really struck with conviction either from Trent Buhagiar. Perhaps he was just caught in two minds. Thurgate back on the old stamping ground. It hasn't been a happy return in the first 17.5 minutes for him. Certainly a player that knows every blade of grass at McDonald Jones Stadium. Ball in for Lustica. Was there a little grab of the shirt? Advantage played if there was, with Wales. 3 to aim for in the box. Wales taking on Moragas. He's done brilliantly. Drove the ball in hard. Botic couldn't get the touch. And it was cleared for under the nose of Thurgate.
That's what Lachie Wales does so well. 1v1, takes on his player. A little burst of acceleration. It was a great ball.
Danzaki. No way past. Aquilina. He's another who's made a bright start to this one. 2 of Riku Danzaki's 9 A-League goals came against Newcastle back in the old Brisbane Roar days. Taylor Well, Moragas was bombing forward. Trapp comes away with the ball. Wales again, you can see possession 50-50. That's a great trademark midfield run from Thurgate. The Newcastle fans will certainly be worried because they'll know what he can provide for the visitors.
How about this ball too from Daniel Pena? The weight behind that, the run from Thurgate, excellent. Pena, who's been relatively quiet, you'd have to say, for this opening 20 minutes. Well, it's moments like that that he can be the difference maker for his side.
But again, another player that Newcastle fans will know all too well. 11 assists and 4 goals in his one Newcastle Jets season 2 years ago in a side that didn't make finals football. Here he is again. The Brazilian. Ball into the feet of Danzaki. That's a good ball for Wales. First time cross. Botic couldn't get there. Kankar bundling him out of the way.
This is better from Western United, much better. Pena getting involved, getting on the ball. This ball from Danzaki too, excellent. And Lachie Wales, well, he'll just deliver time and time again. Noah Botic has got to meet that. He's got to get a challenge in.
He's just probably a little bit low on confidence, Noah Botic, at the moment. He scored the winner against Melbourne City on the opening day of the season from the penalty spot, but he's still awaiting that second goal. A little 1-2-3 with Pena. But a confident Noah Botic would really attack that ball in, would know it's coming, where it's going to be. That's what Western United are lacking at the moment as Garuccio earns a corner, again on that far side of the field for Lachie Wales.
Well, there's no doubting that Noah Botic is a quality young player with a very bright future ahead of him. Just needs to find the back of the net on a couple of occasions, boost that confidence. You see what goal scoring does to a young player.
Well, he went through that purple patch last season when he did start scoring as well. Wales ball in this time. Can't find Danzaki. And look out, the break is on again here. Trent Buhagiar is lightning quick. So is Aquilina, streaming forward. Buhagiar waiting this time. Now shoots and scores! Well, it looked for a moment as though the opportunity was lost. The hesitation. Like he was just seeing that opportunity 2 minutes earlier. But this time, he made no mistake. A precision, clinical finish. And Buhagiar has 2 as the Jets lead midway through the first half by 2-0.
Well, how about this for a counter-attacking play on the Harvey Norman replay? And this is where Trent Buhagiar is at his best. Just green grass, space in front of him to stride in front of. I've got no doubt that moment earlier was in his mind, a moment of indecision. Have to credit the run of Thomas Aquilina as well. A full field sprint to provide the support. That tackle has to be made, but for Trent Buhagiar, confidence. He finds the bottom of the corner and the Jets, well, they're streaming away.
Did it take a deflection there, I wonder? It just caught out Hewitt Bell off Kane Vidmar. Oh, Trent Buhagiar will be hoping that those string of home matches comes quickly, because that's 3 in 2 home matches for him now. And Western United's woes continue. We have been hearing some worrying noises out of Western United as well the last couple of weeks, as here they come again with Aquilina. The TFA was made aware that the players were paid late last month. Perhaps cash flow issues at Western United. We talk about Newcastle wanting to play at home. Western United, of course, want to play at home. It was announced earlier on this season that the Wyndham Regional Football Facility would be home to them at some point this season, but from what I've heard, that is not necessarily the case, and the effects of that are being felt as well with their match against Adelaide United to be played on the 20th of January. For the moment, they have nowhere to play that game. It's not announced yet, and there is some talk that the game could be postponed because they have nowhere to play that home game at the moment. So things a little bit rocky off the pitch for John Aloisi's side. The players would be so eager to get to that Tarnit Stadium, even if it is the 5,000-seater stadium. But no guarantees that that will happen this season now.
And it's a really difficult position for the club and the players and John Aloisi to be in. If their hands are tied in some capacity. And concerning signs too there for Kane Vidmar, who came down heavily on that knee.
Ball in again, it's one at the back post. Kankar beating Lustica this time. Kane Vidmar rejoins as it's driven back again. Back post, Taylor! Off the crossbar, it's a brilliant stop, I think, from Hewitt Bell. It was a wonderful improvised effort from Clayton Taylor, and the fingertip save matched it.
That's a brilliant save. Excellent, excellent fingertip save as the ball sailed in over the top. Clayton Taylor, who's had moments this season, almost dropped in delightfully, but that is really well read there by Hewitt Bell.
Another corner. Newcastle right on top. It's a good ball, near post this time. Aquilina. Well, still looking for that first ever A-League goal, Thomas Aquilina, but why not today? Things are certainly going their way at the moment.
Oh, he's looked really lively, Thomas Aquilina. Great energy, finding himself in good positions. He's working hard this afternoon.
Imai under pressure again. That's well played from Kane Vidmar. Garuccio. Jacob Trapp playing essentially at right back at the moment, with Vidmar one of the central two with Tomoki Imai. Here is Imai again.
We'll had that shuffle on account of Josh Risdon being unavailable for today's match. Just a little reshuffle at the back line there.
Such an important player missing. Josh Risdon, scorer of the winner against Brisbane in stoppage time. That's better, the ball down the left-hand side for Garuccio. The attacking left back. No foul, says the referee from Aquilina. Timmins and Aquilina between them, managing to get the ball forward. Foul by Stamatopoulos on Vidmar. Referee probably judging that he played the ball. Maybe Garuccio could have had something there as well. Well, Daniel Pena acrobatically hurdling players and somersaulting as he dribbles forward. He could certainly do with a little bit of the magic that McDonald Jones Stadium saw of Daniel Pena a couple of seasons ago now, Western United.
Pena's the playmaker, as we saw with Newcastle a couple of years ago. Hasn't yet had quite the same impact with Western United this season, but definitely moments. When he does, it's moments of magic. Just
the one penalty goal so far for Daniel Pena, who is the player that takes the most shots for his side, playing just behind the front three, sitting in behind Noah Botic. There's Garucho just trying to bring that down, but Aquilina very quickly on the scene again. Well, it was an inspirational performance from Pena against Brisbane when they managed to get that win. As the flag is up for offside against Garucho. Free kick taken quickly, and there you see Noah Botic trying to apply the pressure, and that's gone out of play. Moragas can't keep it in from Mark Natter. And that's what they need. They need to try and seize back the initiative here, Western United. Take the game to Newcastle, force them back. They're a Newcastle side as well who are not exactly flying. Confidence is not bulletproof for them. They just need to find a chink in the armour. Botic. Good target play, coming deep. And now Pena, fantastic switch of play for Garucho. He looks up, Thurgate calling for it, it arrives now. And Aquilina is there with another great challenge. Rustica just caught in possession, and then Thurgate with the foul on Timmins, who twisted away from that challenge in agony.
Talk about moments of magic, about that switch ball from Daniel Pena on a dime as well. I thought Angus Thurgate almost could have hit the shot first time, as it was laid back to him really neatly. It's a heavy challenge, perhaps in a little bit of frustration.
Well, that's just that little bit of confidence that's missing, isn't it? The switch of play from Pena was brilliant, but Garuccio's second touch just took that initiative away, and then same for Thurgate when he received. Timmins just apologising for the loose pass, but he's back on his feet. Botic again does well. Here's Thurgate. In the first couple of jeers for Angus Thurgate, it's a good ball towards Botic. Just couldn't get the necessary contact. It's been a little while at Newcastle. Just been pegged back in moments, as we see Botic, if he would have had to have been a pretty special header to have caught out his former teammate Ryan Scott there. Nato with Kankar. That's a good pass from Trapp for Botic. Numbers forward, Danzaki. Danzaki across, and they have the goal. Offside against Noah Botic. Well, when things aren't going your way, they are decidedly not going your way.
It was much better build-up play from Western United, as we've seen in the last few passages of play, finding passes between the lines. Exactly again on that occasion. Nice little slip ball through from Noah Botic, Danzaki, but at this one here, watch Botic, he just drifts into an offside position. It's close, but it's offside, it's the right call. And they're those moments that can turn a game around.
Just the outstretched leg of Noah Botic. You talk about a striker just needing that confidence of a goal. It's one thing to tell a young player, you're creating chances, the goals will come. But even when you have it disallowed, there was also, Danzaki was very close to being offside as well from that initial pass. They're just making absolutely sure that they find the moment the ball was passed by Danzaki, perhaps, because it was a question of gate.
Well, they can't recommence play until the check's completed. So referee Adam Kersey just having a chat with the VAR room.
They are checking both the offsides, we're told. They're drawing up the line, so perhaps it's a little bit closer than what we initially thought. John Aloisi with a word. Tim Danaskas, the offside stands. Well, that one is pretty close as well. And then the second one. Yeah. At any rate, the decision has been upheld.
Yeah, I think that's the right call there. Danzaki was onside. Botic in that run through, just offside. There's the lines you can see.
Better signs, though, from Western United. Offside against Botic, so Nathan McDonald's flag working hard at the moment on this near touchline.
Definitely feels as though Western United have built back in to this first half. Opening passage was really all Newcastle. There's been some really good moments. Western have been able to just find that pass between the lines and really expose Newcastle at the back, and I'm sure they're the moments that John Aloisi will be pointing out at half-time, that it's possible, it's doable. Just have to pick them wisely.
Danzaki looking to accelerate. Ingham flying across, and that's a great challenge from last season's Jets player of the year, as Danzaki looks in real trouble there. Has he fallen on the shoulder? The referee, Adam Kersey, was very quickly on the scene as well. There's the challenge, and he has just fallen onto that shoulder and immediately grabbed for it.
Yeah, that was a really well-timed challenge from Dane Ingham. But Danzaki, that's a painful one. He's come down heavily on the arm, whether it's the collarbone, the outstretched arm, can so easily cop the brunt of that impact, and immediately clutching at that shoulder. Looks to be in a fair bit of discomfort.
Well, they're without already a number of injured players. There's no Nikita Rukavica, of course, the former Socceroo. Rami Najarine is missing today as well. James Donachie at the back is yet to feature this season. Sebastian Pasquale with that toe injury, the latest to miss out, but this looks like, is it a dislocated shoulder that they're trying to pop back in to position here? Andy Roberts watching from the stands. This doesn't look good for Riku Danzaki.
Not a good sign at all. Shoulder out of place. They're just looking to secure him as best as possible. Those ones are sore. If you can't put it back in on the field, that I'll have to go off and have that done properly to avoid any further damage to ligaments. But that's a really painful one for Riku Danzaki. That'll be the end of his day.
Well, that is a blow for Western United. Tomoki Imai had a very serious shoulder injury at the start of last season as well, which kept him sidelined for several months as well. And so we're told that Matthew Grimaldi is the player that will be coming on, as Garuccio one way then the other. The cross in, Moragas's header. Tratt. He's got there. Now Pena. just the 10 men of Western United. Oh, and they've turned it over again. Aquilina. Thurgate with an important touch as Danzaki makes his way down the touchline. You can see how painful it is because he's doubled over in agony. He's trying to find a position that doesn't hurt the shoulder, and there just doesn't appear to be one. Matthew Grimaldi for his 7th A-League appearance. He got his first ever A-League goal against Sydney FC in the final moments. Briefly made it 3-2 before Joe Lolly took the game beyond Western United. Matthew Grimaldi also scored on his first team debut in the Australia Cup earlier this season as well. So he knows where the back of the net is. You can see he's moved straight out onto that left attacking wing. That tells a story that Western United have come back into the contest, because in the opening 10 minutes it was all one-way traffic. Still, the Jets in the ascendancy in touches in the opposition box. That's thanks largely to all those corners they had.
Definitely built themselves back into this second half. Still yet to register a shot on target for Western United, but certainly they've grown into this first half. Important half-time talk to reset.
Lustica. His experience will be crucial in trying to drag Western United back into this contest. For the moment, it's Rob Stanton's young guns that are leading the way. They have, on average, the youngest starting 11 this season, the Newcastle Jets, just over 24 years of age on average, and it is more than a year younger than the next youngest side, which is, depending on the day, generally Adelaide or the Mariners. Pena. He does well, just manages to get rid of the ball before referee says free kick. Grozos, the player pinned for the foul.
Yeah, just arrived a bit late to that challenge. There's Grozos. Got none of the ball. Most of Pena.
Now Lockie Wales again. Managed to deliver some good passes from that part of the field. He's found another one there to pick out Thurgate. Wales again. This time Moraga stands up and blocks, but it will be a third corner for Western United.
Well, they're looking most likely down that right-hand side. Western United, Lockie Wales finding a bit of space, a bit of a jink of the shoulder to try and get that cross. The right flank, the most fruitful so far.
Pena, and that mercurial left foot to deliver to the back post. It's well worked, driven back across. The shot from broken down play was Tomoki Imai. Grimaldi was involved, and again, Western United starting to knock on the door.
How about that first time strike? Came off sweetly.
Trying to get away from Philip Kankar.
You as well.
Now, Pena again, this time underneath the crossbar, and it's Aquilina who completes Ryan Scott's clearance. Well played, Buhagiar. He's been probably the star of the first half, Trent Buhagiar, at least in terms of those two goals, as Stamatopoulos is caught by Tratt. Referee says the advantage is there. Having a look at Stamatopoulos and then deciding that no advantage was to be had, brings it back for the foul.
There's a hefty challenge coming through late. And that standing left foot.
Oh yeah, that left ankle
hurts.
turning underneath there.
Yep, that one's really sore from Stamatopoulos, and there is a yellow card produced. A dangerous challenge.
Jacob Tratt, the first player into the book for that challenge, and you could see it was from behind. Stamatopoulos is back on his feet, fortunately. As we just edge towards the half-time break. Western United have improved as the half has gone on, but they are still paying the penalty for that slow start. They will have a little bit more time, 4 minutes. We've had that injury to Danzaki, of course. A VAR check and a couple of goals, so makes sense. Western United did have the ball in the back of the net with that Noah Botic finish ruled out for offside. They know they have to keep very close wraps on Daniel Pena. And now it's been taken quickly by Pena straight into the legs of Stamatopoulos. And that's a yellow card for the league's second top scorer.
That's quick thinking by Pena. Stamatopoulos just looking to slow the play down, and successfully so, but it's a yellow card for his efforts.
Now Lustica. Kane Vidmar. Grimaldi was screaming for it into feet. Tratt now. Botic. Coming and giving the option. Little touch from Pena as the Newcastle fans look to ring in half-time. On top, Newcastle very disciplined. They have defended on the front foot here in this passage of play. They haven't allowed Western United any room whatsoever to try and force their way forward, and they almost came unstuck again there. They have this time. Stamatopoulos with Buhagiar. Taylor. Buhagiar again for Stamatopoulos. It's nicely worked. He looks up and tries to cross towards Aquilina. The ball falls kindly for Heward Bell. Hasn't been the case always today.
Wasn't a bad build-up from Newcastle. Little hand of apology from Stamatopoulos. Neat passing, finding good space, and conversely, Western United just trying to thread passes that aren't on, forcing the point, really cheaply coughing up possession.
Well, we saw the difference really in that last 2 minutes, didn't we? A minute and a half of Western United possession, barely getting over the halfway line, and then in 15 seconds, Newcastle trying to get the cross into the box. Kankar now. Brazos again. Looks long, looking for the pace of Buhagiar, but Garucho was covering. But again, it's that direct style which epitomises this Newcastle side, looking to use the pace of Buhagiar. Not necessarily known for his clinical finishing, but he's taken 2 of his 3 opportunities today.
Oh, he's proved exactly otherwise today. And as you mentioned at the time, a header, not always his favoured finish on goal.
Half-time at McDonald Jones Stadium. 2 goals inside 22 minutes from Trent Buhagiar. The difference in the first half here. Newcastle, who haven't beaten Western United at home since 2020, have done the hardest part. They have a 2-goal cushion at the break. Noah Botic had a goal ruled out for offside as Western United tried to find their way back into the contest. But at half-time, it's Newcastle Jets 2, Western United 0. And we will be right back after this commercial break with the halftime show coming right up. Oh, here goes Sam Kerr, through on goal. Kerr blasts it into the roof of the net. Australia's all-time leading goal scorer. Fowler, it opens up for the shot. Oh, Mary Fowler, breathtaking. What a goal from the Golden Girl, Mary Fowler.
Hello there and welcome back to the Hungry Jacks halftime show here in McDonald Jones Stadium, and this is the moment that Western thought they were back in the game. Noah Botic getting a chance. He thought he brought back the deficit, only to be ruled out for rightly so, for an offside. Danzaki later going off with an injury, but it's been a great game so far here in McDonald Jones. 2 goals from Trent Buhagiar sets up a 2-0 lead for Newcastle Jets, and they've been great from the off. They've been a lot more physical, they've been in everything, they've been high in press so far. It's been such a great game so far. They start strong here, they always have, but composure isn't usually the word you hold for Trent Buhagiar, but he's shown a little bit of it today anyway. As I said, Newcastle Jets lead 2-0. Taking you through the highlights of the first half, here's Robbie Thompson and Grayscale.
Thank you, Tristan. Yeah, it certainly was the Trent Buhagiar show in those opening moments, wasn't it, on the Harvey Norman highlights. It was a brilliant start, and this move was such a flowing, clever move from these two players down the right-hand side, Grace.
Yeah, it was indeed. And to be fair, for the most part this afternoon, Newcastle have moved forward really freely. Their forward play in combinations has looked really comfortable in picking apart Western United's defence, and Trent Buhagiar, well, he's done really well to get his head on the end of that one. That's an easy finish for him.
Absolutely nothing Tom Hewitt-Bell could do about that. The first time cross from Dane Ingham, brilliant. And then 10 minutes later, Buhagiar was on the charge again. They couldn't prevent the counter-attack, and he was caught in two minds. Perhaps a little slice of luck, but he got the goal. That's the important thing.
It is, and well, this is a coach's nightmare. From an attacking corner, transition play all the way to the other end of the field, finding the goal in the back of the net. John Aloisi would be furious about that one in those moments, but you're right, he's that indecision, in two minds, not sure whether to pass or shoot, ultimately takes the shot, and a very kind deflection for Trent Buhagiar in the end.
Sending the Terrace Nova Castria into rapture. There could have been more as well. Hewitt-Bell made a couple of smart saves, that one to deny Kankar Stamatopoulos. There again, the block from Thurgate, and then probably the best of the bunch.
Yeah, well, this one is a world-class save, just the fingertip onto the crossbar, and easy to say that Hewitt-Bell has been the busier of the two goalkeepers.
Well, the half-time stats tell the story of Western United unable to keep a clean sheet and just toothless up front. Just 7 goals scored this season, 3 in their first 7 matches, 4 in their last 2, but they're falling on hard times again. Not a single shot on target. Newcastle with the expected goals their way as well. It has been a dominant transition performance from them. Well, let's have a look at the Paramount Plus player index, and no surprise to see Trent Buhagiar leading the way. Dane Ingham with a couple of important challenges and that fantastic assist. Moragas as well, the left back, up and down that flank. Natta keeping a clean sheet, and Trent Buhagiar with the player performance. 4 shots already. They are a side that take their chances, and Buhagiar has epitomised that this afternoon, where his pace has been a constant threat at the back for Western United. Let's head back down to Tristan McManus.
Good man, Robbie. Yeah, and there is Trent looking forward to the second half, no doubt. Got 2 in the bag already. Again, if you're watching this game, it is a great one. It's on Paramount Plus. January's just around the corner. Make sure you take advantage of this deal. Save 50% on your annual plan with Paramount Plus on there. You get the A-League, you get the WA League, you get the FA Cup, you get the Matildas, and of course, you get the Asian Cup and the Socceroos, which is just around the corner from us too. That was the end of Hungry Talk's half-time show. Second half is coming up on the other side of this break. Hello there, the 2024 Asian Cup is upon us, gentlemen. Simon Hill, Daniel McBreen. We find ourselves in Group B. Maybe we can talk through that a little bit at the moment. We've got the Socceroos, we've got Uzbekistan, Syria and India. It's going to be a fun one.
It is going to be a fun one, and you've labelled them in the order of their ranking in FIFA, but it goes in reverse order in the way we play, and I think that actually plays into the hands of the Socceroos. Come into India first in the tournament, get through that one, then they move on to the Syria game, which should be a bit sterner test, but I think the hardest test of the lot comes in Game 3 against Uzbekistan, a rising power in Asian football, invested heavily in their structures, and they're going to be a real tough one to finish off the group.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. The White Wolves of Uzbekistan are a rising force, as Maka says. They've won junior tournaments. They're regularly now competing at the back end of those junior competitions. It's now about translating that into senior football, and they've been sort of knocking on the door for the last 2 or 3 Asian Cups. So I think that will be the game that decides who finishes top of the group. Syria won't be any pushovers either. They've got some great players, Omar Al-Soma, Omar Kribin, and one or two of the diasporan South American Syrians as well, brought in by Hector Coupe, their coach. So it's a good test. It's a difficult group for Australia, but it's a winnable one, and I think they'll win it.
No, most definitely. So we've had a couple of injury worries coming into it. Any other major concerns with this squad?
Not really.
Expectation.
Managing expectations. They've done well in the World Cup, so everybody in Australia now expects us to go and dominate everywhere we go, but it doesn't always work like that, and it's not as easy as that. There's some heavy hitters that we have to beat if we're going to win it, but there's no saying that we can't do it.
Saudi Arabia in the quarterfinals, we think, if both teams win their group.
There you go. You heard it here first from the Voices of Football. Make sure you catch all the action of the AFC Asian Cup on Paramount and Network 10.
Craig Goodwin delivers the free kick in. It's a good ball, and it's the opening goal from the towering Harry Suter. Miller is there with Metcalf. He dinks the ball back in. Great header. Mitch Duke. What a story. 11 goals now in green and gold. Welcome back to McDonald Jones Stadium. Trent Buhagiar, the man of the moment, with 2 first-half goals. The difference in this match day 10 Isuzu Ute A-League contest. Newcastle leading Western United by 2-0. They haven't had the best home record against Western United historically. Just 1 win in 5 previous matches here. But they're in the box seat. Western United have shown signs of life. We spoke about their off-field troubles in the first half. Well, they've got on-field troubles this afternoon again, which they will be looking to rectify. To do that, they need at least 2 unanswered goals to get back into the contest. Newcastle themselves looking for that first home win of the season. It's Western United that get the second half underway. No changes to either side at the break, but Rico Danzaki did go off in the latter stages of that first half with what looked like a badly dislocated shoulder, replaced by Matthew Grimaldi for Western United. Grace, John Aloisi's side, with it all to do. And maybe more, because here they go on the front foot immediately, Newcastle.
It's a big 45 minutes coming up for John Aloisi's side, and that too for Rob Stanton's wanting to secure this lead.
You can hear John Aloisi screaming at Noah Bodic to hold on, hold up the ball. Just wait, he tried to win the corner, didn't do so. The Jets able to clear their lines as we show you the 2 lineups at the bottom of your screen there. Stamatopoulos and Jacob Trapp, the 2 players booked in the opening 45 minutes. Hewitt Bell with one brilliant fingertip save in the first half, and another couple of smart stops to keep it at 2-0 when Newcastle were really right on top. It looked as though it could have been 3 or 4. But they've steadied their ship a little bit. You can just hear the calls and anguish from the Western United side, because it's just not happening for them.
Just sense the frustration coming through. They're trying to find the passes and pick apart the lines, and on a few occasions, whether it's Thurgate or Stevie Lustica in the middle of the park, getting the ball but just playing laterally, needing to find a forward-facing pass, break some of the lines, and struggled to do that in the first half. But they're those moments, being able to face forward and go forward.
Well, the XG tells the story of a Western United side that failed to score in the first half for the 9th time in 10 matches this season. Behind for the 8th time this campaign, and Newcastle continue to fight for everything, continue to press and put Western United under pressure. Hewitt Bell. Imai. Trapp looks up and looks long for Lockie Wales. Well, you know, at least you'll have a willing and generous runner all game down that right-hand flank with Lockie Wales. Lustica beats Clayton Taylor to the header. Now Pena facing forward. Wales again. The cross is a good one, right into a dangerous area. Only Botic there. Hooked back in from Garuccio. And again, not enough numbers in the box.
7 Newcastle shirts and just the 3 white Western United in their away kit. The build-up play and the moments that Wales is getting forward, they're there. But the cross, there's just not the play to meet the end of it. It's frustration for Western United. You either need to pull that back out and build up again until there's some more willing runners into the box, or find a pass on the ground. Otherwise, it's somewhat of a wasted delivery.
Hewitt Bell. Just illustrating the frustration there of Western United, looking for an option. Nothing presented itself, so almost forlornly kicked it into touch. Aquilina rides the challenge of Garuccio. Aquilina's cross too close to Hewitt Bell. Now Pena with Lustica. And Thurgate. And again, all forward momentum stalls, and it's another loose pass. Kane Vidmar this time was looking for Garuccio. Kankar back. Here's again the former Western Sydney and Livingston in Scotland defender. Long ball forward, Hewitt Bell with the header. Now Moragas. Hewitt Bell's a long way out of his goal. It may yet come for Stamatopoulos. Well, his shot is brilliantly saved in the end, but looked like he stopped believing it a moment himself there, Stamatopoulos.
Well, a moment of chaos. This run there, Hewitt Bell well and truly off his line, and Moragas, well, he thought about it, tested himself on the long-range effort, didn't quite have the leverage it needed, but it fell really kindly to Stamatopoulos. He took off the gas. You could see him just pull up there for a moment, realise that it didn't quite have the pace on the ball that perhaps he thought on first time of looking, but it's resulted in a pretty decent save in the end from Hewitt Bell.
Western United really are, well, almost again, authors of their own downfall there. Deep ball back post. Beyond Kankar this time. They can't keep it in play. Romaldi, another very talented youngster getting his chance in the A-Leagues. So many young players this year, record numbers of youngsters being given their opportunities in the Australian top flight. Wales into the feet of Pena with Thurgate. Stamatopoulos back doing the defending, putting the brakes on as Timmins just clatters into the back of Pena.
Just a bit of inexperience there. But your opposition facing a defensive half, no need to clatter through the back of them like that.
Here's Imai. Pena. Little ball over the top is a good one for Wales. Oh, Botic has been tripped on the edge of the box by Kankar. Referee says play on. Now Pena again with Garuccio. His cross is brilliant again, and Botic. The ball taking a deflection, perhaps just put him off.
That's a brilliant ball from Garuccio. And you could see the frustration in his face. And have another look at the shout on Botic. Just clipping of the heels there from Kankar. Right at the penalty spot. But this is a ball from Garuccio. That is a perfect delivery. Great shape on the cross.
And another that Botic, perhaps on another day, would have put away. There was one of those when the game was still in the balance last week against Sydney FC. Foul this time is whistled by Timmins. And again, it's a clumsy foul, and this in a more promising area.
Yeah, just a bit of a reckless challenge there in a really dangerous area. Again, Newcastle building well. Western United on that occasion even just trying to find the passes through the lines, but that one is just a little clumsy, doesn't have eyes for the ball. Collects his player, and this is a difficult one.
Well, Daniel Pena and Lockie Wales are standing over the free kick. The man in the Newcastle goal knows them well enough. It is Pena. It's around the wall, and it's palmed out by Ryan Scott. Who did wear the green and black 21 times over 4 seasons, and is now bonded by gold, as they say in Newcastle. Pena, great ball for Garuccio, who gets there, cuts it back towards Lockie Wales, and Western United coming back into the contest here.
Well, struck well from Pena. Ryan Scott had to be alert to the danger and has gotten down really well to his right.
Taken quickly. Grimaldi now. Grimaldi, that's great skill. And pretty coolly done by Ryan Scott as well, who generally has a smile on his face, and he did there as well for the unconventional way he trapped that ball.
That was cool as you like from Matt Grimaldi. Ball seemed to stick to his foot like glue.
It was a fairly coolly taken goal last weekend against Sydney FC as well.
Come on, Adam!
We could hear the frustration of Western United again there. Feeling the throw should have gone their way. And now Newcastle have another free kick. Now we've seen Newcastle cause Western United all sorts of problems from set pieces, most notably corners. In this match so far, it's Grozos again to deliver this free kick. And it comes into a good area again, just nobody attacking it. But Hewitt Bell couldn't come for it, the defence was backpedaling, and he's asking there, Grozos. I couldn't have placed it any better.
Had great shape about it. Puts it into a space where the goalkeeper has to stay on their line there, but just not the willing runners to gamble and try and get any part of the body to steer that goalward.
Oh, Vidmar. Under pressure. Oh, Stamatopoulos. It's going to be a second yellow. He's dived in on Kane Vidmar. He immediately put the hand up to apologise. And this is going to be a second yellow card and red for Newcastle. It's their leading scorer against his former club who is sent off. And I think he's more angry with himself than anybody else. He's not complaining or contradicting the decision.
That's disastrous for Stamatopoulos. You can see as he comes here on the challenge, just the studs on the boot that's left out there by Kane Vidmar. And when you're already nursing a yellow card, you've got to be so careful. He's not remonstrating with Adam Kersey. He knows. He threw his hands up immediately in innocence. I don't think there was any intended malice behind it, but nonetheless, you put yourself into a pretty precarious position in those kind of challenges.
It's the first red card of the season for the Newcastle Jets. They're the side that commit the fewest fouls in the A-League. And now the immediate response from Robbie Stanton is to make changes. Brandon O'Neill is coming in. Trent Buhagiar is the other player coming off.
Well, it's quite the shift this afternoon from Trent Buhagiar, and he can be proud of that first 45 minutes in particular. He's afforded his team the lead that they're holding on into this second half.
Well, there you see what it means to Stamatopoulos, because he won't be feeling that only for himself, but his whole team, that he'll be feeling he could have let down here today. They have a 2-goal lead. It's not precarious. It's not, for the moment, in doubt, but there is plenty of time left. Over half an hour for Western United now to try and turn the tables on their hosts.
Well, no doubt Stamatopoulos is so important to this Newcastle side. Captain armband this afternoon, of course. Putting in goals for fun at the moment.
O'Neill does well. We'll see how he goes after that lung infection this week. Now Western United have already been dominating possession. It's been sterile for so much of this contest, nearly 2/3 of the ball. As Aquilina dives in, oh, that's late from Lustica. And the crowd want to see the cards start flowing now.
We'll get another look at the challenge coming in here. He's late to it, there's no doubt. Mr. O'Neill has just come on. He's assumed the captain's armband for the remaining 30 minutes.
There's a hand from Vidmar. That's a great ball for Aquilina. Well, close to that first ever A-League goal. And one that would have settled perhaps any Newcastle nerves. Hewitt Bell with a wry smile and a shake of the head.
Aquilina's worked tirelessly this afternoon. Almost feels as though a goal's deserved. A clear, as you like, handball. Lovely ball too from Goodwin around the corner. Clever play from Newcastle.
Archie Goodwin almost immediately making a difference. Coming on just moments ago, it's his 6th appearance of the season, already 1 goal and 1 assist to his name. The goal coming against the Mariners in the F3 derby that was meant to be played here but was moved to Gosford. Lustica with Garuccio. The key for Western United is to try and find that cutting edge moving forward. It looks as though already Thurgate is playing a little higher up the pitch now. They can afford to try and get Pena and Thurgate into more attacking positions. Grimaldi coming inside as Garuccio pushes up on the left. Here goes Pena again. Looking for Botic, just a little bit forced. Tratt. Thurgate with Wales. Tratt's cross, Natta with the head away. Archie Goodwin again, given straight back. Again, not enough bodies to aim for, but Wales drives it in towards Grimaldi and Botic that time.
You could see the moment that Lockie Wales glanced up, was looking for a shirt, a player to pick out. When he realised there was no one in there, he had to take a couple more touches, find the next pass. That's been the tale of the afternoon for Western United, just not enough numbers getting forward.
Now Pena with the corner, it's just dinked almost in, and a comfortable one for Scott.
Well, we'll see the tactical shift too from Newcastle. The player down, already sitting in a little bit deeper. Just the solo player and Archie Goodwin leading the line.
Now Michael Roos is coming on now. I think Noah Botic has been sent to get some blood cleaned up on his arm on the sideline as well. Stephen Lustica is coming off. Michael Roos comes on, so that's an attacking move as well. As you can just see in the background there, Noah Botic getting some running repairs.
Well, no doubt John Aloisi has to go for it here. Attacking changes coming on. Advantage in having an extra player out on the field. They've got to push forward. They've got to start throwing options, being a little bit more direct. If there's any time to capitalise on a result in this game, well, there's still plenty of football to be played here. It's time to do it.
Lockie Wales again. Good ball, back post, Botic with the header. Unable to beat Ryan Scott. It was a header where he tried to get it on target first and foremost. And still Newcastle winning the ball back at every opportunity. You might. Not once but twice. Doing brilliantly. Now Roos winds up. Drives the ball across the face of goal. Just too much on it for Botic again.
That's looking more promising. The little thumbs up from Botic. And Roos with an injection of energy. Great pace to tear away from his player. Still, Botic really the only target. Grimaldi was coming in late at the top of the box. It feels like it's building here for Western United.
Oh, look at that possession in the second half. 84% for the away side. And that will only, you'd think, accentuate in the remaining moments. Minutes, 25 of them. Still left to play. Trap for Wales. A goal here for Western United will completely change the complexion of this game as Roos shoots, blocked by Natta. Back out for Pena on the right, deflected. Claimed again by Ryan Scott.
There's a bit about them here, Western United. Roos definitely has made an immediate impact. And Daniel Pena, well, it took a kind deflection. Didn't serve him as well as it would have liked. He can create on the edge of the area like that.
Taylor with Moragas. Taking on Imai. Down in front of the active support for Newcastle, who wanted the free kick. Nothing given. Trapp with Lockie Wales. Oh, that's a dangerous pass, though. O'Neill does well. Moragas with Archie Goodwin. The little back heel is brilliant. The toe poke from Moragas is blocked by Kane Vidmar. And again, it would have been an ill-advised pass out from the back that proved very costly once again for Western United. It's not finished yet. O'Neill. Ingham for Taylor. Turns inside one way then the other. Crosses again into a great area. Even if there wasn't much pace on it. Aquilina now. Ingham. Western United just can't get the ball back at the moment. And they've won a corner out of this, Newcastle.
That's lovely stuff from Newcastle. And this flick, this build-up play, Archie Goodwin, the run of Moragas, done really, really well. And just time and time again, Western United having to absorb so much pressure, wave after wave of attack.
Moragas comes across to take this corner. Ankar. He's moving around. He's being shadowed by Michael Roos. In it comes, back post, the punch from Hewitt Bell. It's out for a throw. Aquilina's been excellent. His 71st appearance in the A-League competition. Another that's also played for the Central Coast. Oh, that's a great touch from Pena. Space on the left-hand side for Garuccio. This time they have a few numbers forward. Oh, and the cross is wasted. Too easy for Ryan Scott.
Had a bit of promise about it. Touch from Pena in the middle of the park. Garuccio, he's ever the willing runner, but is just lacking the quality. He's leant back on the delivery. Disappointed with no one more than himself.
It's now been 10 minutes since the red card to Stamatopoulos. First time Really, we've seen a direct ball like that through the middle, looking to try and get Roos in behind. It's 4 shots apiece in this second half, so Western United, despite all their possession, have been unable to translate that into clear goal-scoring opportunities.
You have to say as well, Newcastle have managed being a player down really well for the last 10 minutes. It hasn't been glaringly obvious to the play from Western United that that's the case.
Garuccio goes again. Aquilina. Inside, little 1-2 is a nice one. Thurgate. Tracking back, does brilliantly. Roos. Able to turn, lovely little touch. Beyond Moragas, too much pace for O'Neill. But it's O'Neill that wants it more than the Western United players. And now Moragas just slicing through the defence. Moragas still going, Archie Goodwin in the middle. Moragas still. Vidmar. And then Botic and Grimaldi, but that's a good sliding challenge from Kankar. Pena wins it back. Play on, says the referee. And then, just when it requires that little moment of quality, it's not there at the moment for Western United.
End-to-end stuff. Not so much through quality, but some crunching challenges in the middle of the park. Loss of possession, quick turnovers. Here's just one of them. Kankar, well, he doesn't mind a heavy challenge. Pena did well to pick up the ball in the middle of the park too.
That's a good ball. Goodwin, as Clayton Taylor takes over. Is there a free kick there from Thurgate? Referee Adam Kersey says no. Don't matter. He's keeping his eye on the ball. And Moragas sends it out of play, so Archie Goodwin can receive some treatment there. He's a player who's had more than his fair share of injuries. He's just been winded there, perhaps, by Thurgate.
I do hope it's just a winding. Archie Goodwin, a fan favourite in Newcastle. A lot of promise as a young player, but he's really battled hard with some injuries, struggled to get consistent game time. I'd hate to see him pick up another one here this afternoon.
Made his debut at just 16 and 106 days against Melbourne Victory. Archie Goodwin. He's their youngest ever player, their youngest ever goal scorer as well. Just a couple of months later, when he scored in the A-League against Melbourne City. He's back on his feet. That was 2.5 years ago now. And some well-documented back problems and growing pains over the last couple of years. No matter the talent you have, it's not always easy for a 16-year-old playing against grown men. The physical challenges.
No, of course not. Good to see him back to his feet, though. A couple of deep breaths. And able to jog back out, which is great to see.
Jacob Tratt, every minute that Newcastle keep Western United at a 2 goals arm's length is a minute closer to victory, that 3rd win of the season. Western United, who made that disastrous start to their title defence last year, this season hasn't been much better. Garuccio's cut back. Perhaps if they're to try and turn their season around, it's got to come in a moment like this. We saw them dig deep against Brisbane when things weren't going their way. You could see that they wanted it badly. There was a revolution of sorts, but only to suffer a familiar tale last weekend in the loss to Sydney. And they find themselves again without a goal scored. Just 7 in nearly 10 matches now. They underscore their XG by more than any side in the competition. And they concede more goals than their XG. Again, more than any other side in the competition. There's Goodwin. Releases Taylor. Clayton Taylor again. That's gone out of play. Goal kick.
And Clayton Taylor too, for all his quality, has been relatively quiet this afternoon. He's been managed well. Struggled to get on the ball. It was a lovely release pass from Archie Goodwin.
Now Roos. Powerful run up. The cut back towards Grimaldi, but he only found O'Neill. There you see the XG, which certainly confirms that Newcastle perhaps could have, should have got another goal at least. I guess what doesn't register on the XG was the big chances that Western United have had. 2 to Noah Botic, where balls have flashed across the face of goal, 1 in each half, where they just didn't make the contact necessary.
Yeah, there's definitely been moments from Western United, and in those cases they've been their own worst enemies. Just lacking that final touch, that final reach. And they've had a decent whack of time here with an additional player.
Poor old Ben Garuccio there. That's when you know that it's just not your day, isn't it? Slicing off the top of the boot and out of play. A cruel laugh from your opposite number.
I was going to let that one go, Robbie, but now that you've mentioned it.
Nothing like just letting your opposite number. No, you don't want to build their confidence, let them back into the game. Here's Roos again. Comes off O'Neill. Will be another corner, and 2 more changes coming for John Aloisi. Reece Bozanovski in the middle of the park, and Connor O'Toole, who also spent a season at the Jets, with whom he scored his only A-League goal, comes in. The former Brisbane Roar, Adelaide, Sydney, and now Western United man. And then Reece Bozanovski making his 3rd appearance off the bench this season for Grimaldi. So subbed on and subbed off, just a tactical change for, no doubt, for John Aloisi. As the corner comes into a dangerous area, and Scott couldn't deal with it. The little back heel from Jacob Tradd, it was casual, and it almost found a way back into the game for Western United.
Ryan Scott definitely lost sight of that one on the delivery. He's gone for the punch, but completely missed it, just got an air. That would have been the coolest goal you'd ever seen from Jacob Tradd had it found the back of the net, but Newcastle perhaps gifted a lifeline as just over 10 minutes remain.
That's the 3 substitution windows. Oh, what a pass from Taylor for Goodwin. Oh, and he just slipped at the crucial moment. O'Toole back doing the defending, and just as Archie Goodwin was about to pull the trigger, he just lost his footing, and that could have taken this one beyond Western United for good.
Huge moment that would would have put it well and truly to bed for Newcastle.
And now Wales. Can Western United make them pay? Bozanovski's header straight at Moragas.
Was a lovely release. Goodwin almost thought a bit too much about it.
Now Botic with the cutback. Pena. Great block from Aquilina. There again. He has been outstanding. The unheralded Thomas Aquilina today. And Western United, with 10 minutes left to play, are just starting to show some urgency. Pena. That's a good ball for Garuccio. Ingham again with the block. Garuccio still. Bozanovski manages to get back onto his feet. Garuccio. His little chip is too easy again for Ryan Scott.
Much better attacking impetus from Western United, and if anyone can hit him from that kind of range, it is Daniel Pena. But as you mentioned, Robbie, Thomas Aquilina has been tireless this afternoon. He's everywhere, involved in blocking challenges, getting involved, getting forward. He's been excellent.
O'Toole with Garuccio. Garuccio fouled by Aquilina. Free kick to come now. Lockie Wales. The set piece. They yet to score from the set piece. Or rather, they've barely scored from open play, in fact, this season. Western United. A couple of penalties. A couple of corners. That's some cross from Imai. It's missed by Ingham and Roos. Off the post. And they almost had their way back into this contest. O'Toole now with Garuccio. O'Toole goes again. Great challenge. Brandon O'Neill sliding in.
Super experienced challenge there from Brandon O'Neill. Had to be timed to perfection. He's gotten the ball and nothing else.
O'Toole, plenty of numbers there. Wales looks up, crosses, Kankar, headers away. Botic was again the intended target. Moragas gives Taylor. One to chase. Good pace, too much for Imai. Tratt had to be across in cover and was. Let's have a look at that opportunity. The rare miss defensively from Ingham. And Roos unable to capitalise.
You can't deny that Michael Roos has definitely made an impact since being substituted on, getting himself forward in good positions. Denied only on that occasion by the woodwork.
Over the top, Roos gives chase again. Little flick outside. Wilmering about to come on, so third change for Newcastle. It will be more or less midfield for midfield, but Wilmering perhaps more defensive qualities than Clayton Taylor, as Robbie Stanton looks to just secure the 3 points here. Here's Connor O'Toole. Outside, Garuccio, early cross. Headed behind by Wilmering. They want the free kick, Newcastle. They don't get it. You can see that they know this isn't over, that there's still time. They're not taking their foot off the gas, not on the bench. They feel that should have been a free kick. In it comes from Pena. Trying to get the little flick was Bottage. Trapp was there, but it's Ryan Scott's ball. Hasn't always been orthodox, but it's been effective from Ryan Scott. As we see, the Paramount Plus player index. Hewitt Bell with that string of saves. Has shot up the list. Moragas, Scott, the Newcastle keeper there as well, and Ingham, but Trent Buhagiar, courtesy of those 2 goals, still leading the way. Will that change in the next couple of minutes? Bozanovski, Garuccio's little flick, but Roos was running in behind. It needed to be flicked the other way. Goodwin with Natta. Pena. Able to look up. Finds Roos. He looks to turn and go. Forces Garuccio wide. Again, it's Aquilina, who's been an absolute terrier in everything. Roos. Again, Aquilina with the challenge. And a round of applause as he limps away from the challenge. Well, there might be. If Trent Buhagiar didn't have the goals, it would be near man of the match for Aquilina today. Pena, little touch for Bozanovski. Ingham, he gets it clear.
Yeah, can't disagree with you there. Aquilina has been excellent all across the park today for Newcastle. Buhagiar obviously finding the back of the net, and a few passages here. It feels like Western United just searching.
Now the ball in from Bozanovski, but like so often today, not that little bit of inspiration needed. No whistle there either. Goodwin, look at Wilmering charging up on the left-hand side. He might find him at the second attempt. Can't do so. Perhaps he'll get a third attempt. Archie Goodwin finally gets the ball. And it's Bottage, who's back doing his defensive duties. That's all well and good, but Western United need goals. Noah Bottage was handed the keys at the start of this season after Alex Prijovic moved on. Western United, for the moment, need him to start finding the back of the net. Again, Aquilina goes. Aloisi, absolutely furious. Aquilina still, as Garuccio gets hit in the head with Aquilina's clearance. I thought for a moment he might be a bit groggy there, but it was just cramp that was preventing him from standing.
There's much as Western United have needed to find the back of the net, they need to find their passes first. Just in the last couple of minutes, passes not sticking. Pops that one right on the forehead, does Garuccio.
Probably Western United players would like to forget this one. Little 1-2. No way through for Wales. A little bit of temporary amnesia. In again. Aquilina, who else? Clears. Thurgate's touch. Peña's ball. And they have had chances, Western United. They've had chances to get back into the game. This isn't a Newcastle side that have just dominated them from head to toe. It's a Newcastle side that took their chances early, but otherwise, in the two penalty boxes, as we often say, they've been the better side, but Western United, they've been largely toothless.
Yeah, it was in the 57th, 58th minute that Stamatopoulos picked up his red card, so over 30 minutes of football that Western United have had that numerical advantage. And the question will be, have they done enough? And the scoreboard suggests otherwise.
O'Toole caught by Aquilina. Yellow card for him. Just confirming that it's been a match with absolutely everything from Aquilina, including the yellow. That's a bad challenge as well.
That's a poor one from Aquilina. Really reckless.
O'Toole, Garuccio, the cross in, Botic's header. Straight down the middle. Well, he'll keep trying, he'll keep giving everything.
And those moments will come, we keep saying it. Western United not without their chances. On a different opportunity, Noah Botic can steer that header to one of the corners and really force a save from Ryan Scott, or find the back of the net, but in that case, straight into the hands.
Oh, it's his ruse, and Kankar with a brilliant last-ditch challenge. It's like he almost scored. That's how much that clean sheet means to Newcastle.
That is a proper defender's challenge, and celebration at that as well. He's been excellent all afternoon, working hard, realising that he needs to put in the challenge. Huge tackle.
Just the two clean sheets so far this season. The first against Western United back on match day 4, then that upset 3-0 win in Wellington against the league leaders. And now perhaps a third with 2 more minutes left to play. It hasn't been a happy return to Newcastle for Daniel Peña or Angus Thurgate. Well, they've got 3 Western United players on Ryan Scott now. Well, he's not going to be going anywhere. 4 Western United players on the goal line, basically. In it comes, oh, the delivery for all of that is cleared by Archie Goodwin at the near post.
I think it says it all, really. John Aloisi looking on pensively.
We spoke about those off-field issues at the start of the match. There's been nothing on the pitch in this second half against 10 men of Newcastle to suggest that on the pitch there is better in store this season for Western United. Certainly not at the moment. John Aloisi was furious after the 4-0 loss to the Mariners. I don't think he'll be too happy with his second trip north of Sydney this season. Garuccio, he hits it, blocked by O'Neill. Natta with the clearing header. And again, it's a wayward pass. Wilmering looks up for Archie Goodwin, but the pass is underhit. It won't worry too much about that, Newcastle, because the 5 minutes of stoppage time are up. There'll be a big roar when that final whistle does blow. Pena and Bozanovsky, nicely done, but there's no one at the back post. And Moragas, under no pressure, just belts it into touch, but it matters little. It's an 8th defeat of the season for John Aloisi's Western United, but it's the first home win of the campaign for the youngsters from Newcastle. Robbie Stanton's side 2-0 winners, courtesy of a first half brace from Trent Buhagiar, who is in a rich vein of scoring form here at home. And they did it all with just 10 men for most of the second half after their captain and top scorer this season, Apostolos Stamatopoulos, was sent off in the 58th minute. There is plenty of work to be done for Western United if they are to turn their season around. But the Jets, for today at least, they're flying into 2024. It's finished at McDonald Jones Stadium, courtesy of Trent Buhagiar, and a solid defensive performance. Newcastle Jets 2, Western United 0. Well, don't go anywhere. Join us after the break as we wrap up here from McDonald Jones Stadium with interviews and all the analysis.
and truly cooking.
How about that?
Wouldn't you know it? Unbelievable. Extraordinary. Poetic. It was meant to be.
Well, let it never end.
That Unite round is going to be spectacular, and the Boxing Day sale is still available until the 2nd of January, which is 10% off family passes for this Unite round, which is going to be amazing. There's going to be lots of family fun activities. But right here at McDonald Jones Stadium, where the game is finished 2-0 to Newcastle Jets, and with the Isuzu Ute player of the game, Trent Buhagiar. Trent, how does it feel? 2 goals, that's 3 goals for you now and 3 assists this season.
Yeah, it's obviously a good feeling, but happy to get a result after going down to 10 men. I thought we defended that game out really well, and credit to the boys at the back and the full team for putting in the shift for the full 90 minutes.
You got one with your head, obviously the first one. We always look at these games when you go, maybe they're going to learn from what happened. 17th minute, you came through, chance didn't quite go in. 5 minutes later, you got almost the exact same thing and you finished it. What was going through your head then?
Yeah, I had a few chances in that first half, could have scored another one, but I was just happy to get the 2 and happy to end the year on a high.
You came out hot off the blocks at the beginning and really physical today as well, which was great to see. But there's an excitement, you can feel it in the stadium as soon as you yourself and the young guys get on the ball. You just want to get forward. What's it like playing in this Jets team at the moment?
Yeah, it's definitely good. We're an attacking team. We want to go forward as quick as possible when we win the ball. And throughout the week we were talking about how we need to start fast and get on the front foot early. And credit to the boys, we came out strong and got on the front foot and scored those 2 goals in that first half. So yeah, it's just good to get on with the job and finally win a game at home, and hopefully they'll push it on to next year and get better and better each week.
Yeah, what does that first win at home, what does that mean to you? Because it's the 4th time of trying now. You got 2 wins away from home, but to end the year, as you say, with your first home win.
Yeah, obviously it's massive. You want to win all your games at home. You want to make your home a fortress. So we've been building towards that. We've had a few games where we've gone in the lead and unable to come out with the win at home, but we've done well today and we're able to come out with a win.
Huge congrats on today. Well done. Best of luck next week against the Bulls. Take care.
Thank you, Tristan and Trent Buhagiar. On that victory, as we see the Newcastle players celebrating with their fans. The Alec Tobin points then from this match. Trent Buhagiar with the 3. Thomas Aquilina, monumental at the back. Grace and Philip Kankar, well, for that defensive celebration at the end, worth a point on its own.
Oh, indeed, and can't really deny Trent Buhagiar 2 goals and the result for his side today, but Thomas Aquilina, he was everywhere, and Phil Kankar too at the back had an exceptional game.
Well, here are Trent Buhagiar's moments. There was that blocked effort as well, where they almost fired in that quickly taken throw in from Aquilina again, who really was at the heart of everything. That was the chance Tristan McManus was just asking him about, the opportunity that didn't come off. You see it there, 4 shots in total, but his pace is a constant threat as well, and things tended to happen when he was on the ball. Let's head back down to Tristan, who's with John Aloisi.
Thank you, Robbie. Yeah, I am here with John. John, very frustrating day again for you guys. You got a bit of momentum there in the second half, but it just didn't seem to go your way today.
Yeah, we lost the game the first 20 minutes. We felt that we gave them the game, really. The first goal we defended poorly, and then the second goal was a corner for us, and we get caught on the counter attack. And we practiced those things and position of players, and we weren't switched on, and that cost us in the end. I thought towards the end of the first half we started to gain control. Again in the second half, we didn't have enough in the end to break them down. But this is what happens when you've got young players. We've got a very young group, and then when your senior players are out, in tough times in terms of results-wise, it's a learning experience for a lot of these younger boys, and we have to just try and work to get through it.
How does it go at half-time? Obviously, I'm not going to ask you what your words are, unless you want to tell me. But I mean, in terms of, if you see that pattern that it keeps kind of repeating itself, you can try getting angry, you can try kind of reinforcing what they have in them. How do you tackle a difficult moment like that?
No, not to be scared. You know, what are we scared about? Like, you know, and that's what I was really saying. I said the first 20 minutes we give them the game because we're scared. We're scared to defend like we know how to defend. We're scared to play the way we know how to play. You know, I can handle losing, but I don't want players to be fearful and to be hiding and to not want